Okay, so today, prove myself that I'm filming this today. Hello, James Riley. Um, we've been talking about VR for the class today, so I think that our project, if I can remember right, is going to ask us to create the video just on how virtual reality works and how it works throughout the book. So, first thing, I know the most important key on the whole aspect of the VR is between your device, which is your phone, that mostly use these VR headsets, or the screen within the headset, like the Oculus Rift, or like this one where it has the two lenses. And how the VR screen works with it is it takes two different images. That's why you can kind of see these are going back and forth from each eye, and each image will be at a little different angle to create the 3D effect. And that's kind of how the image gets created through zoom. I mean, if you see up here, you can zoom them back and forth so you adjust to your eyes and everything. But it mostly is using two images to create a one image that looks almost 3D and gives it depth with making a virtual reality world. The second step for that, after you've got the image, is the device itself. So a cell phone or the Oculus Rift that has an actual image in it has to censor where the head is versus where the body is looking, and everything that goes in between to keep the world around it 3D. So it's basically taking two images and matching them up pretty much perfectly to create that world. And as you turn your head, it's getting the next image ahead of itself so that it knows how to give it depth to that picture. So I'm using the aspect of the lenses to create the image itself, with the sensors in the device letting you look around and having the ability to show different angles and looking through everything. It kind of works as in kind of like the 3D glasses where it gave you two images and it would put them together, but I guess it's the other way around. A thing I do want to bring up about the next thing with these Oculus Rifts and these VR headsets is Facebook actually just came out with a design, or a prototype, that Mark Zuckerberg presented just barely like last week, that he's basically planning on creating a messenger portion that creates a virtual reality world that basically is set to have you sit down and you have an avatar for your Facebook. So just kind of like, I guess, Xbox has their avatars, or their trying to think what else has avatars. There are most video games that have their avatars for their characters. You create a Facebook avatar, and once you create your Facebook avatar, you can flip your phone and put on a headset, VR headset, where you end up looking at the image of everyone else's avatar, and you're sitting there reviewing with them, talking with them, doing interviews, doing PowerPoints, doing business meetings, all through VR. So the future for VR and the ability to, I guess, instead of taking a call, actually watch something and be there in person, in an effect, I guess, of not actually being there. You can look at a presentation, be there with a person, talk to them. I also talked about that in our posts, that it's kind of a cool thing. So Facebook, you have an avatar, you click on your Messenger app, you pop into the VR or whatever they're going to call it, and you flip your phone aside, you put on your VR headset, and you're anywhere in the world with someone else, talking to them just like normal. It's pretty cool where if I have someone that's living in China, I can put on my headset and I can kind of see their avatar. Who knows how in depth the avatar will be, but how the VR headset's going to use, how it uses its depth and everything, that you can almost, I mean, technically you're looking at them as you can see out and touch them. So it's kind of amazing what you can do with these headsets and what they can be, and how just two lenses and the device itself detecting movement and creating two images and making a depth in your field of vision is kind of amazing. So I think it's kind of amazing where VR is heading, and it's got a lot of potential to do great things in the world. Last thing, I just want to cite my sources. So I've used our book. I guess you can cite Facebook.com, Mark Zuckerberg's Facebook page, where he presented his idea for the VR Facebook Messenger app that he's planning on doing. I also want to cite, it's www.androidauthority.com, and gave me some other great ideas with how VR is working and where it's heading, and just a little bit more in depth of the sensories and how they're working, especially with the HTC and how they're using sensors on the outside of these headsets right here to make better judgments of where your head position is going to be at. So obviously, this is a first edition version, but I mean, these new headsets are going to have a lot more sensors and a lot more in-depth thing than just more of a shell with the glasses in them. So